the fire. You place the flowers in the vase that you bought today. Staring at the fire for hours and hours while I listen to you play your love songs all night long. Only for me. Come to me now, can you rest your head for just 5 minutes? Everything is love. Such a cozy windows are illuminated by the evening sunshine through them, fiery gems for you, only for you. Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you. And now, la 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 is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you. I'll light the fire while you place the flowers in the vase that you bought today.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate Chris and Sheena and to witness them pledge their eternal love to one another. Additionally, many of us are also celebrating the fact that we are finally at a Chris Moore event that did not feature 5, 6, 7, 8 bands and come with text, Facebook, and Twitter reminders. So it's truly a momentous occasion.
That was on time.
As some of you might know, this wedding ceremony was initially supposed to be about 10 people in another backyard that's not nearly as wonderful as this one. And I'm sure that would have been lovely, but it would not have been appropriate for Chris and Sheena. The vastness of today's celebration makes it clear that these are 2 very legitimately beloved and cared for people. If you guys look around, you'll see people coming from California, from Western New York, from Buffalo, from Florida, from Sweden. Some Bama came from Sweden. And I'm sure you are aware that they did not come to tonight's fancy dinner because there is none.
That's good.
Instead, we're here for the main reason that anyone does anything, and that's self-interest. True, Chris and Sheena, we all want to show you how much we love you and care for you, but honestly, we could have just sent you a card. Instead, people drove or flew those long distances because surrounding ourselves in the love that you 2 have for one another makes us feel better about life and all the possibilities therein. When Chris, Sheena, and I sat down to discuss this ceremony initially, they only had 2 points of emphasis. One is that they wanted Thin Lizzy somehow involved, and 2 is that they wanted the ceremony to be over as quickly as possible so that everyone could have fun. And I bring this up not to mention the complete lack of planning involved, although if I did want to do that, I would say that this was also an open Facebook event for the entire internet for at least half an hour. But I don't do that. Instead, I say that to emphasize how even on the biggest day of their lives, they really only had other people's interests in mind. And of course, then Lizzie. And I think that first part says a great deal about them as people, and it says a lot about them as a couple that supports one another by placing each other first. If you spend any time with Chris and Sheena, you'll hear a lot of repetitive word choices. Chris will say crumb bum and a lot. Sheena calls everyone, and I do mean everyone, Lil Mama or Sweet Angel. But there's another favorite word that they actually both use pretty constantly to describe everyone or their loved ones, and that's mutants. And I think they would consider themselves mutants too, just like the rest of us. And while I don't want to get too analytical about Chris and Sheena's poetic diction, I do think mutant has a little charm and significance to it. I think if we looked into some commonalities of us as mutants, we'd find that many of us have come from some sort of broken home. Some of us come from divorce backgrounds, some from single parent homes, some from families that just fought a lot. In other words, many of us grew up in a world in which two adults couldn't or wouldn't find happiness by putting another first. And I say that not to be a downer, but to explain why we, as your friends and family, feel so fortunate to witness your union. A union that exemplifies sacrifice and dedication. And so I think there are a lot of nice things to say about Chris and Sheena's relationship, like how Chris somehow doesn't seem to mind how Sheena dresses like a straight up 65-year-old grandmother. And how Sheena somehow deals with Chris's mustache and vegan flatulence. Respect. The most impressive aspect of your union is the dedication that you two share for each other. This was first evident in how you made your relationship grow in spite of the 100 miles apart, as Chris lived in DC and Sheena lived in New York. And then, since Sheena has moved to DC, how you have both been so willing to sacrifice so much so the other can pursue their passions by traveling the world playing music. Honestly, when Sheena goes on tour, I am sincerely bummed and slightly resentful because I have no one to go to Cheesecake Factory with. And when Chris goes, I honestly wish that you wouldn't, because I have no one to take those sensual glamour shots with. But fortunately, you guys are much better people than I am. You're much less selfish. You both care so much about the happiness of the other that you're willing to withstand lonely nights with just Billy and Bonsai, so the other can pursue their dreams and pursue your dreams. And watching you two continually act out of each other's best interests makes us all feel better about the world that we live in. So at this time, we should probably go ahead and get you married. So, Chris, in front of all those you love, do you, Chris, promise to love, protect, and take care of Sheena for now and forever?
I do.
That took too long. Put that on him. Sheena, do you promise to love, protect, and take care of Chris now and forever? It is with much love and honor that I pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride.